Hello all, welcome to yet another new chapter, and this is your Nimi Raju, and today I'm very happy. You know why? Because I've just crossed my 500 subscribers. I'm so happy that by each and every video subscribers the numbers are increasing. Thank you. And those who are watching it right now, if you have not subscribed my channel, do subscribe and like, and you can always share your question in the comment box. So today I thought we'll be moving on to the next unit, and therefore we are moving on to the chapter His First Flight. As you all know, everybody has got a dream to overcome whatever is it and whatever challenge is it, and to start flying. It is a difficult process, and today we are going to discuss about that difficult process, how a person was able, not a person but a bird, how that particular bird was able to overcome the challenge and was able to move, fly and raise the banners of their parents. So today we'll move on to the chapter. Before moving on to this particular story, we have to know it's written by Liam O'Flaherty, and Liam O'Flaherty, you can know he is an Irish story writer. Okay, he has a prominent role in the Irish literature. So he has written a story, and if you can just go into the story a little bit, you can say it's just written in a very simple language, so that it is quite easy for the children. So this is again a part of the First Flight book. So we'll be moving on to the third unit. The name of the unit is basically two stories about flying. So today we'll be discussing about one story, the first part of the story, His First Flight. Another day we'll move on to the next story. So before moving into the story, I know everybody has got this particular kind of an emotional, a fear inside you. There can be people who are feared of heights, fear of darkness, fear of the weather. All those kind of fear are there in each and every person. So over here you can find a small bird. This is my art. I know it's not that good, but still I just wanted to ensure that everyone is clear about it, because I strongly believe that visual learning is very and it makes a great impact in each one of you. So over you can find a small bird, and this is actually a seagull. I'm sure everybody know what is a seagull. Okay, so this seagull is over here. You can see the seagull is actually in that particular edge of a cliff. You know what's a cliff? Okay, basically that pinpoint. So this bird is there, and you know the seagull's mother and the father and also its sibling, everybody has just started flying. Okay, even the younger siblings started to fly, but this poor little seagull had that particular fear in his mind. So because of this fear in his mind, what happened? The seagull couldn't fly. So this is about the story and how he is able to overcome. We look into it. So if you can look into the beginning of the story begins like this. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. Ledge means basically, I told you, the cliff part. Okay, that's why, just to ensure you know it, it's just a cliff part. So the seagull was all alone, because all the others started flying. Even the younger siblings with the shorter wings started to fly. But this seagull didn't have the particular courage in his mind. So this particular seagull couldn't fly because of that fear. And there's one particular word used in the textbook. He failed to muster up the courage. Muster, M-U-S-T-E-R. Muster means the bird couldn't completely was able to gather up the courage. It lacked courage. It was not able to overcome the fear. So it stayed there. But its mother, father and even the younger siblings with shorter wings were flying so high, and the mama bird and the papa bird was actually helping this bird to fly, showing how to soar the heights, how to actually move towards the through those clouds. All those things the papa bird and the mama bird was quite happily teaching. But this bird, this particular seagull, was not able to fly. So written my first point over here, a young seagull who was afraid to fly for the first time. So for the very first time, the seagull was scared to fly, and the story is about that particular seagull. It's very clearly given the title, His First Flight. This was a story about this particular seagull who had that fear in his mind to fly. So now on, what happened? The father and the mother, they came around near to this bird. Okay, they came around the bird, was trying to produce all those kind of seagull sounds. Okay, so all these kinds of sounds like gaga, coco, all these kinds of sounds were produced by the mama bird and the papa bird. But still, however they were trying to, this little seagull was not ready to fly. Second point I've written here, his younger siblings with much shorter wings fearlessly flies, without that fear in their mind, because they had the thing, okay, the mama bird and papa bird is able to fly, okay, they are not going to putting you down. So they had that courage and they were able to fly. Okay, but this bird stood there. There is few words which I would like you to note down. The first word is, they tried to threaten them. Okay, they try to scold. The word used over there in the textbook is upbraiding him. Okay, upbraiding means basically scolding him. So the mother bird and the father bird was just coming near to the seagull, to the cliff point. They were flying round and round and was trying to scold him, threaten him, but nothing was working. Okay, what is the reason? Because that fear is always inside our mind. Okay, that fear inside the mind should be completely overcome. So whatever the mama bird and the papa bird was trying to say, our little seagull was not ready to overcome. So then what happened? Then the mama bird knew what to do. Now what did the mama bird do? Mama bird tried to do something. Food as a trap. The mama bird ensured to keep a trap. And what is a trap? Obviously we know, when we have small little issues, our parents are always with us, right? They have the proper solutions for all our problems. So the mother knew the solution for this problem. Mother thought, whatever it is, if threatening is not working, if scolding is not working, the next particular thing is, no one can live without the food. Okay, so mother thought food can be a trap. So what did they do? They took the food and went near the cliff and was trying to actually show him the food, and when going near the bird and then moving back. Okay, so this seagull could see his siblings catching the food and eating the food and everything, and they were also having so much fun. In the textbook, a particular sentence is there. He had in fact seen his older brother catch his first herring. Herring means his first sea fish. Okay, and was eating very quickly. Okay, and it was eating very quickly, and his parents were circling around and laughing and enjoying. They were having loads of fun. And what happened? The father was also trying to make an effort, was trying to teach him how to fly, how to do the certain things, how to move, how to go about the clouds, everything. The papa bird was also teaching him. Now what happened? Mama knew one thing, and what did mama knew? Mama did something. Mama took the food and went near him and then flew back. Okay, so when she was just opposite to him, what happened? She just paused for a moment and then she stood there motionless, and in the mama bird's beak there was a fish. Okay, and then she was wondering, the bird was wondering why mama bird is not coming next to him. And then the next moment he felt his wings. He thought that something he should do, because mama bird was trying to actually challenge him giving the food. The next moment, what he do? He just moved his wings and started to fly. He was screaming so loudly because he didn't know first time how to, but later on he realized the next moment his wings started to flap. It spread outwards and it started to fly, and by the time he started to flap his wings and fly, his mother, his father, his siblings, everyone gathered near the seagull, because the seagull did something today, and that was, he did his first flight. And as he was soaring heights, he was trying to produce all those kinds of sounds. It's given in the textbook. Ga, 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 cowl. All those sounds were produced. And what happened? Mother was so happy. Mother was screaming. Father was flying around him, and they were all happy. And then he completely forgot that why he was not able to fly. Then he realized he was not able to fly because the reasons of fear. Fear is actually a major factor in a life. Every single individual should overcome that particular fear in our mind. Only when you're able to overcome that fear, we'll be able to be a successful person in each and everything. So what happened, they were so happy and the bird started to fly. The last few lines are very beautiful. His feet sank in the green sea. Okay, so now he was just taking a flight into the sea, and then his belly touched it, and then he sank no farther. He was floating on the sea, and around him his family was screaming and making all those nice noise. They were trying to even praise the seagull. Okay, and what happened, they even gave him some scraps of fish. He made his first flight, and that is how the story is coming to an end. Okay, so it is just a short story because, as I told you, Liam is one person who is actually a prominent figure in the Irish literature. So whenever he wanted to convey certain message, he tried to use all these kind of short stories so that the message is properly conveyed to each and every one of you. Okay, so if you can look into the story, very clearly written the theme. Basically, two themes is mentioned in the story. The first theme is trust his own ability. The seagull, he knew that he had wings, because very clearly there's a particular sentence in the text which I've written over here. His younger brother with much shorter wings fearlessly flies. So very clearly he knew that he had proper wings, better wings than his siblings. And in spite of knowing that, he didn't fly. So first and foremost, this particular quality every individual should have: to trust in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Only if you have faith in yourself, you'll be able to do certain things. It's not just sitting in the corner, okay, I tried. It's not just trying, but try and try again until you succeed. So over here, he was able to trust his ability in the end of the story. He trusted his own ability, and then he started to. The second major theme, overcoming the fear. Whatever fear you have in your mind, you should be able to overcome that particular fear. So, as I told you, basically the two themes of overcoming the fear and also trusting your own ability, that should be there in every individual. Okay, so now we will move on to the important questions of the chapter. I've written here one of the short question as well as one of the value based question, because few students asked, can you just we're requesting about the value based question. So over here, taking the particular theme, I've written down a value based question. So moving on to the very first question. The sight of the food maddened him. Him is the seagull. What does this suggest? What compelled the young seagull to fly? We all know that for a human being to survive, or for a particular animal or any living being to survive, we need one particular thing, and that is the food. Food is a basic thing for living. So over here, we know very clearly what happened. The seagull wanted food. Okay, the parents tried to scold him. The parents even tried to threaten him. The parents even tried putting him in starve. And even while he was starving, he thought that he wanted food to survive. So he didn't have any other thing, he just wanted food. So what did the mama bird do? Mama bird took the sea fish and went near the cliff and showed him. This maddened him. So basically for food, so the first part of the question was, what does this suggest? Basically, this suggests food is a major thing in a living being's life. What compelled the young seagull to fly? Because of his hunger for days, 1 day or 2 days, this compelled him to fly. So seeing that fish, it started to fly. If you can look into its first flight, it moved and it thought it was completely lost. It was just as a fall, a third fall. Then after some time, the particular wings was literally moving up, and then it started to fly. This was happened. So hunger was the basic reason why it flight. Okay, now if you can look into, there's one other more question in the short answer question which can ask, what were the things the parents tried to do? The parents are trying to scold him, threaten him. What mama bird tried to do, and what his siblings, even with the shorter wings, they were trying to fly. They were sitting next to them. How the papa bird was trying to help him to soar heights, other seagulls to soar the heights, how to get the fish. All these things he was trying to say. Okay, moving on to the second question. Hesitations and fear play necessary parts in human life, but we will succeed only when you overcome it. Justify. That's a value based question. Obviously, as I told you, the basic theme of the story is overcoming the fear. So if you can look into this particular story of overcoming the fear, obviously you need to put all these things. A little bit of summary is essential, but for value based question, when you write 8 marks question, ensure that you should not write the summary. Okay, over here, what are the 2 points which has been mentioned? The question they ask is basically about the thing fear. So you should write over here, the bird had to fly. That is particular skill, and this skill can be achieved only when you practice it. So over here, nothing in life can be completely taken as granted. If it's a skill, it has to be learned with your own experience. So over here, he had that fear towards flying. So he have to overcome this fear. How he can overcome? He can overcome the fear of flying is only through flying. There's no other major reason. And we have to make our own efforts and trials, only then we'll be able to succeed over here. So over here, this statement is accurately true according to Seagull. And then this Seagull very clearly said the younger siblings were also able to fly. Okay, the younger siblings, although they had short wings, they were trying to fly. So over here, everything was inside the mind of Seagull. So basically, you have to actually try to do something. It's basically a skill. The flying, the basically skill of flying is a skill. Okay, it is a skill. How can you excel at the flying skill? It can be only excel through practice. Okay, so we should basically practice it, and then we should be able to overcome it. So according to me, this quote is accurately true. And again, you can see over here, you can also mention about how the kind of food was actually maddening him. You can connect with the first question and write it. I hope these 2 questions are clear, and I'm sure that you are able to understand. These are the major important questions which can come. One is a value based question, another one is a short answer questions. I hope the video was quite clear to you. Okay, those who are watching the video for the very first time, please subscribe and share. Do share it with your friends. I'm sure this video some way or other it's going to help the students to understand it in a better way, because if you look into other videos also, basically it's explained Hindi and other languages. So this video I've explained it in a very simple sentences and simple summary, so that it's very easy and it's very helpful for you people. I hope you were able to comprehend the story and the questions well, and I hope it is quite a useful video. If you have any questions, please post it in the comment box. Okay, thank you. Your Nimi Riju signing off. Bye. Have a good time.